This video is all about 10 steps that help me heal in my hoarding disorder so that I could declutter my house and start to put successful habits into place. Hi everyone, welcome back to Hoarder's Heart. My name is Miss Hart and I am recovering in my hoarding disorder. And before we dive into this video, I just wanted to say, please, if you have hoarding disorder, always seek the professional help of a therapist and your doctors first. This video is just dedicated to ways that helped me along in my journey, and I wanted to share it with all of you. The setting of this video is located in the Poconos where we had our trip, because there's something about nature where I find clarity and peace and tranquility, and I feel like I can think more clear. And that leads us right into step number 1, and that is you have to heal your mind first before you can start decluttering. Hoarding disorder is a mental instability that is stemmed from anxiety, depression, OCD, PTSD, ADHD. And that's where we have to start. We have to look past the stuff to what is triggering it. And that is our mental state. And luckily, you don't have to heal an entire lifetime's worth of trauma to get started. You just start by rewriting the script in your head. I had a lot of negative self-talk about myself, and it read like this: I can't do it. It's too much stuff. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not strong enough to do this. And I had to start replacing it with a more positive affirmation of myself. And I started changing that script to, I am strong enough. I can do it. I am loved and I am able to do this. And even emotionally, if I didn't believe it, I still said it. I still said it over and over again because eventually I did start believing it. And that's when I started having the strength to begin. Step number 2 is prayer and meditation, which is still in the healing mindset stage. I had to start clearing my mind of all that anxiety, those fears, those past traumas that was triggering me to hold on to all that stuff. I needed a newer, better coping mechanism to deal with those emotions. So each morning, I would do the breath work of breathing in and breathing out and thanking God for my blessings and thinking of all the things that I'm grateful for in my life. And in those moments of my quiet time, I can feel the anxiety just disappear. Step number 3, which is the final mind exercise before I got started in the action part of decluttering, is journaling and visualizing. I love journaling, and it's a healthy coping mechanism for me to express my emotions. And as I wrote down my feelings and as I wrote down my goals on how I wanted my rooms to look like, I started visualizing myself cleaning out those hoarded spaces. I started imagining myself taking the stuff out, decluttering it, seeing a beautiful new space for me to love, and it was a positive experience. By me visualizing the process before I jumped in, took a lot of the anxiety out of starting, because it felt like I already did it. I already played the reel in my head and I was successful at it. Now that we have filled our mind with positive affirmations and have a newfound strength, we can start to take action to decluttering. Which brings us into step number 4, and that is the clutter snowball. Start with the smallest room in your house for the quick victory. When I began this journey and I wanted to clean it out, I was very overwhelmed by the large spaces of the living room, the kitchen, the basement. So I started with the smallest room in my house, which was my little tiny bathroom. And it was easy for me to have those quick victories, to start with the drawer, to start with then a countertop, then to do the bottom of the floor. And I had these quick victories to build up my confidence, to reinforce the thought process of, I can do this. And sure enough, I had that bathroom nice and clean and tidy, which gave me the confidence and momentum to go on to the next smallest room, declutter that, clean it up, have a victory in that room. That way I can continue going on to those bigger rooms because it didn't seem as overwhelming because I had so many victories. I had built these decluttering muscles and habits up that it didn't seem scary anymore. Step number 5 is make emotional decisions to declutter. Hoarding is stemmed from deep-rooted emotions. And when you start decluttering, I want you to let go of what feels right in your heart and not using logic. We know that we don't need 50 pairs of shoes, right? We logically know that, but there's an emotional attachment to those items. So when we let it go emotionally, when we pick it up and say, you know what? I don't feel anything to this. I am going to let it go. It will set you up for success because I want decluttering to be translated into a positive experience. If you get rid of something that you're not ready to let go of in your heart, that you felt forced to let go of, that you regret seeing it go out of your house, it might trigger a regression in your hoarding disorder. And we're trying to avoid that because we want it to be a positive experience inside your heart. Step number 6 is creating a set time and date each week dedicated to decluttering. Pick a time, either morning, afternoon, night, wherever you thrive the most, where you set aside only for decluttering. That way, you start to establish this habit, and each week, whether it's once, twice, or 3 times a week, you are fully dedicated to decluttering. Step number 7 is take a break from your trigger stores. That way, you're not tempted to impulse shop. And that also includes yard sales, thrift shops, curb pickups, free hand-me-downs. The idea is that we're trying to get more stuff out of our hoarded house than coming in. And we have to resist temptation for a little while. That way, we can start to see the open spaces in our house. Which ties in with step number 8, and that is doing a monthly no spend challenge. By me picking days of the week that I wasn't going to spend absolutely no money, it prevented that impulse shopping from occurring. And what happens when you're not impulse shopping on miscellaneous things? You save a lot of money. My hoarding was also triggered when we were financially struggling. It comes from a scarcity mindset. I have to hold on to everything because we can't afford it. And if I have it stashed away, I can then use it. But instead, it's better to build a financial stability. It's better to start to build this security. That way, you don't feel the need to hold on to everything. And when you free yourself of that scarcity mindset and you start to live in this abundance thought process, it brings us right into step number 9, and that is to give and to help others. It feels amazing to be able to let go of your hoarded items and bless another family, to help somebody else in need, to give clothes to a mother who was looking for those sizes for their little ones. That is the greatest reward, is when you are able to give and help others in need. And now that you transferred your joy to someone else to make them happy, you're feeling amazing. You're feeling great. And this also leads us to step number 10, which I want you to have someone to be accountable for. I had accountability each and every week because I created this YouTube channel. And I shared my heart, and I shared my struggles and my victories. And a wonderful thing happened. It grew. And I met so many wonderful, beautiful, healing friends. And each and every week, they cheered me on. They encouraged me. They supported me. They also held me accountable. And I think that was what was most important of all, was creating this loving community where we can accept one another. We can encourage each other. We can give advice. We can give guidance. But mostly, we can share our victories and cheer and celebrate those moments. That meant everything to me. And that's what I want this channel to be, a loving place where we can keep each other encouraged and accountable. And we're there like a family, ready to embrace you and to celebrate those victories together as we heal in our hoarding disorder. And these were the 10 steps that helped me the most in recovering in my hoarding disorder. I was a level 4 hoarder, but now I'm about a level 2. And I will also continue in this healing journey. And I pray that this video was an encouragement to you, that it helps you achieve your goals too. And know that I believe that you can do it. I believe that the strength is within you. And whatever your goals look like, know that I am here to love, support, and encourage you. You know, when Mother Nature hoards, let's just say hundreds of thousands of rocks, it's an absolute beautiful phenomenon. And maybe subconsciously, for all those years I hoarded, this is how I saw the beauty in all the stuff in the basement that I had packed away. But honestly, it's not the same, right? It's not the same. This is beautiful. And I think I'll let Mother Nature do all the hoarding, and I'll enjoy all the beauty that Earth has to offer us.